Okay, so we're going to have a look at the Pythagorean theorem. So you'll recall that this relates to right angle triangles. This only works in the case of a right angle triangle. So here we've got a triangle with a right angle. And before we carry on, let's remember some important definitions. So the longest edge is called the hypotenuse. And this is always opposite the right angle. And what's important here is that whilst it's opposite the right angle, it's also the longest side. We then have two other sides, which sometimes get called legs. So this is just another leg here. So we've got leg, and hypotenuse. So if we break this down, when we've learned about this in class, we've looked at giving these sides letters. So we've got this side here, which is C, we've got A, and we've got B. So A and B are interchangeable, but C must always be the hypotenuse. So must always be the hypotenuse. Now, what we know is that if we take a triangle, a right angle triangle, and if we, so that's a square. It's definitely not a triangle. And now I can. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so if we draw a triangle, and if we were to take a square here and draw this onto the side, so this is a square. And if we take a square and we put it onto this side like this, and we take a square and we put it onto this side, then what we know is that the area of, if this is square A and this is square B, then this is equal to the area of those two squares. So because the area of a square is found by taking the two sides, so the sides are squared and all the sides are the same, this allows us to come up with an equation. So we've got a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So what we're saying here is that the area of square A plus the area of square B is equal to the area of square C. Now, we therefore, because we can find the areas of these sides, therefore we can then find the missing side length. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we can see is if we take a triangle like this, and this is right angled, we've got a side here of 3 and a side here of 4. I know that they're a bit wonky with my diagram, but the math works anyway. So we've got a side of 3, we've got a side of 4. We don't know what this side is. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to label this as A, and this is B, and this is C, because remember, this is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle. So now we know that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So if we take the numbers that we've got, we know that 3 squared plus 4 squared is equal to C squared. Well, 3 squared is 9, and 4 squared is 16, and that's going to be equal to C squared. So 9 plus 16 is 25. That's equal to C squared. Now we need to square root to get rid of our square, and that means that 5 is equal to C. So we now know that the length of C is 5. Now the same thing works if we have a triangle where we are missing another side, but we have the hypotenuse. So if we look at this triangle where we've got 5 and we've got 4, then we still know that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. But now we've got this, which is 5. We've got b, which is 4. And we don't know what a is. So don't forget the squared. So we know that a squared plus 16 is equal to 25. And now we're just going to solve this like an equation. So I'm going to minus 16 from both sides. And that means now that a squared is equal to 9. I'm going to square root. So therefore a is equal to 3. And we can now see that we found our missing side. So we can work in both directions here. Okay, sometimes we're going to have a situation where we have a triangle and the two sides are the same. So in that case, we are going to have something maybe like this. And we're told that we don't know what this side is, and we don't know what this side is, but this side here is, let's say this side is 30. So in this case, because this side and this side both have the same length, instead of giving them like a ladder of A or B, we can make this X. We'll make this C over here. So we know that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So now we know that X squared plus X squared is equal to 30 squared. Now, X squared plus X squared is 2X squared, and that's equal to 30 squared. And 30 squared is equal to 900. So 2x squared is equal to 900. And now I'm just going to solve this like a regular equation. So I'm going to divide by 2, divide by 2. X squared is equal to 450. I'm going to square root it. And the square root of 450 is equal to 21.21. So I now have the missing length of one of my sides of my triangle. And that's pretty much it. So that's Pythagoras working with a regular triangle, working backwards using the hypotenuse, and when you have two sides which are the same length.